It's now time for the morning show on XL7-TV.
Welcome to the morning show on XL7-TV. I'm Bob Rectenwall. This is Scooter.
Whoop, whoop.
Scott Callies.
How are you?
You know, warm.
Warm. That's all you got to say is warm.
Warm.
It's been hot.
Today's going to be warm.
Today's even going to be just bad, but yesterday I remember looking at my thermostat, and it tells me temperature, not with the heat index, just temperature,
Right.
and it was at 100.
Right.
Without heat index.
We were, my oldest boy and I were out moving a bull that got out of his fence, and thank you, J.R. Martin, his neighbor, that corralled him up. Robert was on the river with you on the creek, and you guys were trying to have a good, enjoying, relaxing day on the creek, and I called and ruined that a little bit, but
It happens.
his new bull calf got out, and the neighbor put him up in his barn, and the fear was I wasn't worried about the bull anymore, but the rest of them, if he busted
There's
through,
a number of cows out there.
and the rest of the 5 or 6 that he's got are just wandering aimlessly, that wouldn't have been
Of course,
pretty.
you calls, and we're about an hour into this float trip, and you got point A and point B. And there's nothing you can do till you get down to point. It can't be like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and go. I mean, let's exit here. We're in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, I understand. Been there. Been there. Just need to let him know what was going on. Anyway.
So we probably cut it short because we stopped the swimming and stuff like that and just headed back. But
At one point, my truck said it was 104.
104.
Yeah.
I can believe that. I
Just the
believe it.
temperature.
I would imagine it probably got higher.
Yeah, because that was like 3 o'clock.
Yeah, because at that heat, the index will be higher than that.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Woo, it got hot.
It did. It got hot, but I don't think it's as hot as it's going to get.
No, I have to agree with you there. I think then this week's going to get hot.
But that's all right. Winter's just around the corner.
Yeah, this is this time of year. What do?
You don't. You just do. Did you get any yard work done yesterday?
A little bit. I had some other projects. I was working on a vehicle, and of course we had to load up and unload and clean everything from the raft trip, and got that done. And then I did a little bit of mowing, and then I was like, you know what? This is too hot. I'm done.
I'm done.
I'm done. I'm finished.
Yeah. Well, we had a pretty good day on Saturday. 11 hours worth.
Better you than me. That's all I got to say.
Kind of wild. How about a morning prayer?
All right.
Brought to you by Roller Funeral Home of Arkansas. With all our respect, it's not just their motto, it's the way they do business. 29 locations serve you, 1 in Memphis, Tennessee. Renata Jenkins Byler and her staff do a wonderful job in your time of sorrow, your time of grief. If you don't know where the nearest Roller Funeral Home is to you, give them a call at 870-425-2161, and they'll be glad to help you find the nearest Roller Funeral Home. And now the morning prayer. Lord, we just thank you for who you are and what you do for us in our lives. Lord, we just pray that we will continue to keep you first in our life. Lord, we just pray that you will, as every school season starts, we just pray that you will continue to be with the administration, the teachers, the families, the students, all of the staff at the schools. Let them know that this, what they do is not just a job, it's a calling, and to be with these students and to keep them safe and to keep them out of harm's way. And Lord, we just pray that they will instruct and keep patience and give them the patience that it takes to do this job. Lord, we just pray for the government. We pray for the folks in Washington, D.C., the folks at the state level, our county level, and our city level. Lord, as we go through some trying and changing times, we just pray that you will lead, guide, and direct them as well. It's in Christ's name which we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Roller Funeral Home, with all our respect. Highway 5 North, just past Hospital Drive. Look to the right-hand side. Biggest American flag you've probably ever seen. Pull in there, talk to them about pre-planning, cemetery services, funeral services, cemetery plots, mausoleums. You need it. They've got it. Roller Funeral Home. You've done that pre-planning yet?
In my head.
Right after I did, right? You
Yeah.
were the next one.
I'm right on top of it. I'll be right after. I mean, just As you're walking out, I'm there.
One of these days, our wives are going to make us get that done.
I know. We need to, and we keep saying that, but.
Roller Funeral Home, Highway 5 North, 425-2161. Give them a call. Talk to them. They'll be glad to help you. And now we're going to have a quick word from Bob and Linda Zadora, the Z-Team, Century 21 Lee Mack Realty here at Mountain Home. 870-405-0793 is their number. RetireToArkansas.net is their website. We'll be back in just a moment.
Oh, honey, we've had such a wonderful vacation here in the Ozarks. I really hate to go home.
I know. The lakes, the rivers, they've all been great for fishing. Oh, and the boating and the swimming.
And the people are so nice in the stores and restaurants.
Let's call an agent and see if we can make Mountain Home our new home.
Call the Z-Team, 870-405-0793. Century 21 Lee Mack Realty, 1024 Highway 62 East Mountain Home.
870-405-0793. Hello, Z-Team?
Welcome back to the morning show on XL7-TV. It's time for the weather, the lake levels, the dam reports, and everything in between. Brought to you by Bob and Linda Zadora, the Z-Team, Century 21 Lee Mack Realty. 870-405-0793 is their number. RetireToArkansas.net is their website. Go there, click on live views, and see what you can see.
The fog.
Another froggy day.
It is a very froggy day.
I had to work.
Here's the other one.
I had to actually use my windshield wipers coming in this morning.
I did too.
So much fog. Have you got one of your standby shots, the one that you go to for a screensaver?
I'll put this one on. I'll see if I can grab one here.
What you're looking at is the White River. We call this God's country. This is the White River from the Marion County, Arkansas side, back into the Baxter County, Arkansas side. The city of Cotter. The Rainbow Bridge to your left. Behind it is the old trellis bridge for the railroad tracks. City of Bull Shoals will be off to your left. Straight ahead is the state of Missouri. City of Mountain Home way off to your right. And downtown Cotter, Arkansas.
Here's our pick of the day.
The pick of the day. That's a beautiful pick of the day.
How's that one?
That's a good one. That is the Rainbow Bridge. That's old Ruthven Bridge. It's a beautiful, beautiful area, downtown Cotter. These shots are brought to you by Bob and Linda Zadora, the Z-Team of Century 21 Lee Mack Realty here in Mountain Home. 870-405-0793 is their number. RetireToArkansas.net is their website. When you click on MLS listings, you can find something that tickles your fancy. Give them a call at 870-405-0793, and they'll be glad to let you know if it's still available.
Yeah,
I'm gonna run
they
through.
Go quick.
I'm going to run through some temperatures here. Currently in Mountain Home, it's 76. Harrison is 74. Batesville is 76. Yellville 75. Marshall 73. Salem 77. Mountain View 73. Calico Rock 73. West Plains, Missouri 77. Springfield, Missouri 75. Poplar Bluff, Missouri 73. St. Louis, Missouri is 81. We'll take a look at the radar. As you can see, we are clear, clear, clear. This right here is remnants of a hurricane that was offshore off the coast of California. It's about to dissipate out. It's reached all the way up into Minnesota, up into Canada. They'll be glad to have it in Canada. Believe it or not, they're still fighting those wildfires.
Unreal.
Talked with a friend of mine that lives up there, and he said, "Yeah, we got lots of fire here." So.
Sounds exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got lots of fire here. Yep.
Hey. Zoom in to Arkansas, from Rogers to Blytheville, from Fayetteville to Jonesboro, Fort Smith over to Conway, Little Rock to Memphis, Hot Springs to Pine Bluff, Texarkana to Greenville, Mississippi. It is all clear all day. And guess what this is, Scooter? Right down here, right in the dead center.
Well, that would be excessive heat warning.
Yeah. And guess what?
We're in it.
It's hot. We're in it.
The whole state, pretty much.
The whole state of Arkansas is in excessive heat warning, and then they've got the heat advisory way over there, right on the coast of Tennessee and Arkansas on the border. Texas is pretty well covered with it. Louisiana is too. All of Missouri, all of Iowa, half of Kansas, half of Oklahoma, a third of Minnesota. It's just hot.
Those central areas just hot.
Just hot. And there's nothing you can do about it, so y'all just like it.
Yep.
Patchy fog today, then sunny, high of 100. Excessive heat warning throughout the day. Tonight it's going to be mostly clear, of low of 76. Tomorrow hot, high near 98, 89. That'd be good. High of 98. Excessive heat warning again tomorrow, mostly clear tomorrow night, low of 74. Wednesday, hot, high of 97, low of 75. Thursday, high of 99, low of 75. Friday, hot, high of 98. Friday night, it's going to be hot, low of 73. Saturday, high of 91. Sunday, high 84 high on Sunday.
All right.
Break out a sweater.
Be a good day to get out and do something.
There you go. Tree pollen, none today, none tomorrow, none on Wednesday. Grass pollen, moderate today, low tomorrow, low on Wednesday. Ragweed, low today, none tomorrow, low on Wednesday. You believe any of that?
It'll change tomorrow.
It's the only thing for sure. Lake levels and dam reports.
I couldn't. You may try to refresh them, but both of the pages were down when I went to them. I forgot to tell you this morning. I tried uploading both of them, and neither one of them would come up.
Nope, not happening.
No, so we don't have any visual dam reports.
Nope, but we can tell you that Lake Bull Shoals. Let's go to something else there, so we're not.
I can go to us.
We can tell you that Lake Bull Shoals is running 2 generators at this time. Lake Norfolk is not available for generation, but they have 3 spillway gates running 3,700 cubic feet per second. So there's quite a bit of water still coming out of the lakes.
Yeah.
But we can't tell you how high they are. I don't imagine that they've come up any since Friday, since we haven't had any rain.
No, and everything is just kind of, well, like I said, we floated the Cricket Creek, and it was way down. It was a little over 9 feet on where they mark it, which means that you're going to drag in parts.
Some spots you had to pick up and carry, huh?
We did. But it wasn't very many. I mean, there was like 3 or 4 spots that we had to stop and carry it over that got shallow. But
that's the lake levels, dam reports, and all the weather updates brought to you by Bob and Linda Zadora. The Z-Team, Century 21 Lee Mack Riley, 870-405-0793 is their number. RetiredToArkansas.net is their website. These are realtors you would recommend to your friends. I say they're busy, but never too busy to help you. You're watching The Morning Show on XL7-TV. We'll be back with community news and happenings in just a moment.
Hi, Brett, Fritz, and Paisley here at Mower Warehouse on Buzzard Ridge Road. Mower Warehouse has the largest selection of Ferris zero-turn mowers in stock. 0% financing available. Mower Warehouse also services all brands of mowers. We offer free delivery. Come see us for all your mower needs. That's Mower Warehouse on Buzzard Ridge Road, where your business is appreciated.
Going on now through June, up to $500 off select mowers at Mower Warehouse, with no money down and payments as low as $89 per month.
have you ever...
Welcome back to the Morning Show on XL7-TV. It's time for community news and happenings brought to you by Mower Warehouse. Mower Warehouse is located on Highway 178 East out toward the bypass, about a quarter of a mile from the bypass. But you'll know you're there when you see the mowers in the air.
See the mowers everywhere.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. Everywhere. Front, back, sides, inside, outside.
Parts,
Sound like
service.
a Dr. Seuss book.
Huh?
In the hat, outside the hat, around the hat.
Dr. Seuss. Dr. Scooter.
But they've got a lot of mowers still, and they keep it stocked with mowers. So if that's something you're still looking for, they're still running their rebates to the end of this month, which are pretty good rebates. Save you a lot of money. They got financing that they can do for you, as far as they got 0%, no money down. They can get you in a mower today without it breaking your pocketbook.
They'll work on about anything.
Yes, they will. Whether it be mowers, generators, weed eaters, snow blowers.
And they
I'm just throwing that out there.
Snow blowers? Snow blowers.
It sounded good on a time like now.
See, current temperatures in the 80s, and you're talking snow blowers?
Hey, you never know.
Never too early, right?
Got to get prepared.
Mm-hmm. All righty then. Ferris mowers.
With the...
No, that's your line.
That's your line.
Cool spring suspension.
Yes. Got to put in that cool coil spring suspension.
Don't want a hot coil.
No. It's got to be cool.
Got to be cool.
Yeah, you got to be with the in crowd.
There you go. Hey, What's happening is
What is happening?
military past and present. First Responders Appreciation Night will be September the 1st. It'll be Friday night. There's a dinner at 6 o'clock for the military and the first responders and a +1, so reservations are required. Deadline for that is, I believe, this Friday, and August the 25th. The deadline for the free T-shirt passed. That was last night, but it's for emergency EMTs, paramedics, fire departments, volunteer and paid, police department, all around the area, not just Mountain Home.
Hospital workers.
Hospital. Well, yeah. Did they say yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anybody that is a first responder in your hospital, all your ER and all that, they're all first. They consider those first responders.
There you go. They just want to honor you for what you do and what you've done for us as a country, but as a city and a county, and support you and what you have done with a meal and recognize you at halftime. They would like a photo of you that they can put on their the big screen that they can show at halftime. But it'd be a good time. Get a hold of 740-288-5317 and they'll excuse me, help you get registered for that. What else we got going on, Scooter?
Oh.
Go over here to the other screen. Other than the excessive heat warning coming up all day, all night, all week, the Baxter County Fair starts tomorrow.
Oh, that's right. That's right. It's right around the corner.
Yeah, like right around the clock.
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow.
It is. It's funny that you don't have a kid in school, so you don't really hear about it like you normally.
Yes. The traditional Baxter County Fair has returned to the Mountain Home area. It starts tomorrow with I think tomorrow's free admission day. All the exhibits will be open. You have to register today from 2 to 6. Bring in your home economics, art, photography, baked goods will all be accepted. Horticultural entries in the horticultural room. In addition to cattle, the swine, goats, lambs will be going into the barn today or tomorrow from 3 to 9. So tomorrow's setup day, but you're welcome to go there if you want to. The fair kicks off Tuesday night with the carnival beginning at 5, running till 9:30. Free admission at the gate is courtesy of the carnival provider. Gate admission this year is $7 for ages 6 and older. 5 and under are free. And you spend much time at the fair, Scooter?
I like to go through and see the exhibits and talk to some of those people and stuff. I used to love them when the fair was coming, when I had my restaurant, because they would come to the restaurant every morning, all the employees and workers.
And get to hear all the stories.
Oh, yeah. It was pretty cool. Yeah. They're pretty good people.
Contrary to the stigma that they have with them, carnies.
No, they're
coming to steal
people.
Your children.
No, they always took care of us. We took care of them. It was pretty cool.
There you go. Other than that, there's not a whole lot of good positive stuff going on, so we'll just leave it at that. Arkansas Game and Fish Commission offers free fishing Wednesday.
Free fishing Wednesday. Okay, that's good.
You can fish without a license or a trout permit on August the 23rd, so it's free fishing. Say that quickly.
Free fishing Wednesday.
Yeah, say it 3 times in a row.
I ain't gonna try it.
All right, there you go. That's Community News and Happenings brought to you by Mower Warehouse of Mountain Home, Highway 178 East, out toward the bypass. You'll know you're there when you see the mowers in the air. You're watching the morning show on XL7-TV. We'll be back in just a moment.
Have you ever noticed every time you wash your car, you end up wetter than the actual car? Next time, run down to Car Care and let the friendly staff put a smile on your face. Car Care of Mountain Home has a variety of services to clean your vehicle's needs, inside and out. From a simple wash and shine to their outstanding detail services. Located 1525 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. Stop by Car Care Mountain Home today, because driving a clean car always makes you feel good.
When you think about Hospice of the Ozarks, it's our desire that you think about finding a way to live your life to the fullest while living with a serious illness. If you ever need help and support, we provide a team of healthcare professionals and volunteers that will support your physical, emotional, and spiritual aspects of life while doing the same for your family and caregivers in the comfort of your own home or wherever you call home. When you think about Hospice of the Ozarks, we hope that you grant us permission to walk on the journey with you. Your not-for-profit option since 1979.
When you're out of town, make sure your pet is with someone who will love them as much as you do. At 201 Pet Salon and Resort, your pet is cared for just as they would be at home. 201 Pet Salon and Resort is the only all-suite climate-controlled and air-filtered boarding facility in the area with private and spacious rooms to keep your pet relaxed. And with over 3/4 of an acre of fenced play area, your pet will receive the proper exercise they deserve. 201 also offers professional grooming services. Your best friend is in good hands at 201 Pet Salon and Resort in Mountain Home.
All you've ever wanted was a place to write your story. You hear it's not the right time to buy or sell a house, but really, the best time is when it's right for you. The real estate markets, they change, they go up, they go down. One thing that doesn't change is where you want to be in your life. The professionals you team up with will make your story happen. The Z Team are the professionals you need to hire for your next chapter. So call the Z Team at 870-405-0793, Century 21 Lemac Realty, 1024 Highway 62 East, retiredtoarkansas.net.
Are you looking for the best barbecue in 2 states?
Holy smokes!
Want the meatiest fall-off-the-bone ribs?
Holy smokes!
The most tender and delicious pulled pork?
Holy smokes!
The tastiest brisket in the Ozarks?
Holy smokes!
Holy Smokes Barbecue and Catering is the only place you need to go. Dine in, carry out, and the best food for your next catered event.
Holy smokes!
We're your mountain home for great barbecue cooking.
Holy smokes!
A higher calling for your taste buds.
Welcome back to the morning show on XL7-TV. It's time for Monday morning sports update. Big news for Mountain Home is the Mountain Home Bombers played a benefit game at Jonesboro. It was a
really good game.
The first half of that game was the ones versus ones for the first 2 quarters, and Mountain Home played very, very well.
Yeah, they did exceptionally well. I mean, you look at the size that Jonesboro was bringing to the table and the amount of players. I mean, I think they had, 108 or something like that.
I have some notes here, matter of fact.
But just looking at the mere size of them, it's kind of intimidating, I'll be honest with you.
Jonesboro is a 7A school.
Yep.
Which is the largest that we have in the state of Arkansas. Jonesboro had 300 pounds and above. They had 6 players. They had 11 players from 250 to 300. They had 24 players, 200 to 249. Now, let's look at Mountain Home side. Mountain Home had 0 players above 300. They have 5 from 250 to 299. And they have 20 from 200 to 249. So down the lower weight, we were close. But after that, no.
Yeah, we didn't. Yeah, we just don't have the size.
Jonesboro dressed 34 sophomores, 38 juniors, and 36 seniors. Mountain Home dressed 38 sophomores, 17 juniors, and 18 seniors for a total of 72 players. But Jonesboro had 108 players dressed out.
Yeah.
Now that's with pads on. There was still some on the sideline that had a different color jersey. Now they may have been 9th graders that weren't. They're not in this count. They just happened to be there. So they're a big school. Mountain Home did very well. Mountain Home came out and won that first 2 quarters, what I call the ones, playing the ones.
Yeah.
They beat Jonesboro 24-10. I believe we managed to get through that first half of the game penalty free, I think.
Yeah, we may have. I don't remember in the first half having any.
I don't remember Mountain Home having any in the first half. Second half we had a few, because the second half was the 2s played most of the third quarter, and then they had a mixture of 2s and 3s in the fourth quarter. But Mountain Home ended up winning that 13-10.
Yes.
So overall, it was a very good night. It was 37-24 was the total final score at the end, and it was a good ball game. We saw a lot. The biggest thing that I take away from it, Mountain Home came away with no injuries. I did find out late last night that we did have one of our student athletes twisted an ankle.
Okay.
One of our linemen, but his dad says he'll be out Friday. He'll be there Friday. He will be playing. He won't be out of the game. He'll be out on the field.
And we had a few players that weren't playing today due to some illnesses.
Yeah, on Friday.
Or on Friday.
Yep. There's some upper respiratory and some stomach issues going on. And there was, 2 or 3, maybe 4 that weren't able to play. And they're starters. 2 of them were starters. So that's we look forward to having them back. Robert Dover had a great game for what they played. The quarterback did an awesome job.
Yes.
Had some great catches by.
Great pass. Yeah, his arm he did really well. I was impressed.
Yep. So we had a good time. So, Scooter, I need to take a quick break.
Okay.
And we'll come right back.
Jim Brown Company keeps you cool when it's hot and warm when it's not. A trusted name in the mountain home community, Jim Brown Company provides timely heating and cooling installation and repairs. Our certified technicians incorporate new technology on every job to provide you with the most advanced services. At our metal fabrication shop, we handle projects big and small. We've created everything from commercial ducts to custom designs.
I'd recommend Jim Brown Company to my friends and neighbors. The reason being they have high-tech equipment. Their service techs are well qualified for the job that they do, and they also send me a report after all the work is done so I know exactly what my unit's doing.
By visiting our showroom, you can learn all about our heating and cooling products. We'll educate you on your options and help you decide on the right solution. For total comfort at your home or business, choose Jim Brown Company. Quality service with a family name since 1964.
Welcome back to the Monday Morning Sports Update. The Mountain Home JV team will be hosting Salem tonight at Balmer Stadium. That game is scheduled to kick off at 6 o'clock. Wonder how they're going to deal with the heat.
I don't know. I mean, they're going to have to look at that. You know, they got that temperature bulb that tells them what they can. The wet bulb, tells them what they can't do. Can and can't do.
Hopefully it'll be cool enough that they can get that in. JV is.
Well, they're going to be, if you look at the temperatures, it's more hotter the next 2 days than it will be on. Well, when do they play? They're playing tonight. I don't know. They may end up having to push it back, or who knows?
May have to wait and push it to 7 or something. The Mountain Home, there'll be a round-robin volleyball event going on at the junior high campus tonight. That'll start at 4:30. Also going on, Flippin is traveling to Brockwell to meet Izard County. Yellville will host Bergman. Melbourne will take a trip to Cave City. Harrison will be hosting Berryville. That is for volleyball matches. That should be fun. Have you ever been to much Oh, yeah, I used to do line judge.
Yeah, I had a line judge for a couple of years on volleyball. It's actually entertaining. Once you learn it and get into it, it's pretty entertaining. It's pretty cool.
Entertaining. Be a good time. Let's see, what else have we got here for a sports update? I know Yellville played over at Berryville, but Coach Jones should be here anytime. We'll visit with him, unless he calls here in a minute and says that he's tied up. But I do know that the track has not been started yet at Mountain Home High School, so we're not sure what's going to happen with that. I have to get a hold of Mitch Husky and find out where we're.
Well, I can tell you, regardless, the game for Harrison is at home.
Well, right now it is.
No, I mean, Mitch made that comment last time we'd seen him. He said it doesn't matter if the track's done, not done, they are playing here at Mountain Home. That it will not be moved.
Won't be moved. Well, okay. I don't know of anything else as far as sports update, other than Mountain Home will be traveling to Nettleton on Friday night. XL7-TV and the broadcast crew will be over there Our pregame will start at 6. We'll have a full pregame. Friday night we did not. We had abbreviated pregame, so it was a little crunched.
Yeah.
Things were a
little bit
tight. Yeah. But we are going
But they started the game early, too.
They did.
So
they started the game at 6, so we went on at 5:30. But this Friday we'll have a normal game. We'll start our pregame at 6 o'clock. It'll be an hour long. We'll have an interview with Coach Airy, possibly an interview with Coach Crow. Don't know how that's going to work out yet, but we're working on that. But Nettleton Raiders, they beat Osceola sizably last week, and they're a big, strong, good team. They're a 5A team, but they will do well in their conference.
Now this is our first technical game.
Game.
Of the schedule.
Yep, schedule.
The last one's just a benefit game, but this actually starts our season this Friday.
This one counts in the wins and loss column.
Yep.
But no matter how you look at it, benefit or whatever you want to call Friday night, it's still a good momentum booster morale booster for the Bombers to beat a 7A school 24-10 in the first half of a game and finish it out 37 like they did. It was nice. So anyway, that's all I've got for today.
All right. We'll take a break.
We're going to take a break. We'll be back in just a moment.
Diatley Dental Care is a family-owned dental practice. Doctors Irvin and Christina Diatley grew up in the Twin Lakes area and are proud to serve the community. With modern treatment methods and state-of-the-art technology, they are dedicated to providing exemplary care to patients of all ages. Our compassionate team consistently receives training above and beyond the standard of care.
We're changing the way you see dentistry.
Come be a part of our dental family.
Overhead Door, a garage door company that has been with your family from the beginning, through all the ups and downs of life. From the small repairs to making your vision a reality. Overhead Door, your trusted garage door expert since 1921. Be sure you're getting the genuine, the original overhead door service.
Call Overhead Door Company of North Arkansas today in Mountain Home. At Letty's Mexican Restaurant, we are here to keep you safe during these difficult times, as well as serve you the best Mexican food in the area. That's why we've installed a convenient pickup window for all your to-go and pickup orders, as well as a covered outdoor seating area. Give us a call at 870-435-2532 to order your next meal. And don't forget, Letty's also provides catering for small parties or big events. Experience the best in Mexican cuisine. Letty's in Gassville. If you're looking for something wonderful and delicious, head on over to Paradise Cream for a homemade ice cream experience. With over 20 flavors like German chocolate cake and sea salt caramel, it's always homemade and delicious. Paradise Cream has something for everyone and also carries dairy-free and vegan ice cream options. So whether you like it in a cup or in one of their homemade waffle cones, you're in for a wonderful dessert experience. Located in Mountain Home next to Ramada Inn or at their Harrison address across from Pizza Hut and Castle Rental. Let Paradise Cream cater your next event, because you're on your way to paradise.
Welcome back to the morning show on XL7-TV. Our guest apparently has had a family emergency, and we are sorry to say that won't be joining us on time if he's going to be able to join us at all. But until then, we're going to show you a video from Arkansas Game and Fish. We appreciate those videos, and we have to play them on occasion when they're not available to come or be here. So we wish the best for Coach Jones and his family, and we'll be back shortly.
Few people have a lukewarm reaction to the sight of a black bear. The most typical response is probably fear, followed closely by a sense of wonder. For some, black bears are a symbol of wilderness. For Myron Means, the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission's black bear biologist, bears elicit respect and admiration.
Their physiology, the lifestyle that they've evolved into, a feast and a fast, lifestyle, you know, being able to go without food for 4 to 5 months at a time, have a gestation period, give birth, wean cubs. They're a truly remarkable animal.
The story of Arkansas's black bears almost ended tragically, but now it's literally a textbook example of wildlife management at its finest.
It was thought at the time of pre-settlement that Arkansas had maybe as many as 50,000 black bears in the state, and we were unofficially nicknamed the Bear State. Through the time of settlement, 1700s and 1800s, bears were market hunted for their fat, and they were almost hunted to extinction in the state. And by the late 1920s, the General Assembly of Arkansas actually made it illegal to bear hunt, to kill a bear in the state, but by that time it was almost too late.
As few as 3 or 4 dozen bears persisted in southeast Arkansas, in the bottomlands where the White and Arkansas rivers meet the Mississippi. But in 1958, the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission embarked on a plan to bring back black bears.
They brought 254 bears in from Minnesota and Manitoba, Canada, and they released them at sites in the Ozarks and Ouachita mountain ranges.
Arkansas Game and Fish released bears over a 10-year period. Historical upland forest had been cut down, but their rebirth gave rise to rich wildlife habitat.
That population flourished under those conditions, and it was so successful that by 1980, Arkansas Game and Fish Commission was able to reopen bear season in the state.
Bears are back, a natural part of the landscape, as they were before our forefathers set foot here. Today, the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission regulates bear hunting and keeps close tabs on the natural state's bears.
Population's thriving. We estimate that we have 4,000 to 5,000 bears in the state.
Black bears inhabit the Ozarks and Ouachitas, as well as the lower White River area.
Those three populations, we kind of treat them as distinct populations. There's not a lot of immigration and immigration back and forth into those populations from one another.
Bear season takes place in the fall in Arkansas and is controlled by various regulations and a quota system. The season has a set length, but also closes if hunters check a certain number of bears. Over the past 5 years, hunters have taken an average of 422 bears per season in the natural state. Considering there were less than a few dozen bears here just 90 years ago, it's one of wildlife management's most incredible success stories.
No other natural resource agency has ever reintroduced a large carnivore as successful as Arkansas Game and Fish Commission has. It's considered the most successful reintroduction of a large carnivore in history, not just Arkansas or the United States, but around the world.
To maintain that success, Myron Means and the Game and Fish Commission's bear team constantly monitor the state's bears. And while harvest numbers are instructive, they only tell part of the story.
Total length is 55. It's really critical for us in monitoring our bear population to kind of have an idea of how many bears are coming into the system, as well as how many bears are going out of the system that are harvested during the bear season. Well, the way we monitor how many bears are coming into the system is to have a good distribution of collared females across bear range. Of those collared females, we'll go in every year and do cub counts if they're in a cub cycle, or yearling counts if they have yearlings with them, because the cubs will stay with them for actually 2 den cycles. So by doing that, we're able to monitor reproduction effort and survival effort of those cubs up until the time they're a year old.
Radio-collared female bears are tracked to their winter dens. Bears with cubs then get a visit from the Game and Fish Commission, giving us a deeper view into the black bear's world and the work that ensures a robust Arkansas bear population.
We're going to go quite a ways further down, but I just want to tell everybody from here on down we probably need to be as quiet as possible. She's just right down below the hill here, but we still have probably another 75 yards. This is a female, black, no chest blaze, and she is 5 1/4 pounds.
Keeping track of Arkansas's black bears requires an understanding of the number of bears leaving the population as a result of regulated hunting, but it also requires insight into how many bears are entering the population.
Arkansas's bear population is really good and really healthy, but it's not like we have 20,000 black bears in the state. We only have 4,000 to 5,000 bears in the state. So it's not like you see bears all the time. So unless you go in and put your hands on females with cubs, and unless you have good data from year to year to year, you really don't have any idea of what's going on with reproductive rates of our bear population.
Game and fish biologists have attached radio tracking collars to dozens of female bears across the state. That representative sample allows wildlife managers to track birth rates and cub survival and make informed management decisions. But first, you have to get to the bear den. Reaching a bear den in the Ozark National Forest isn't the easiest task.
The experienced mothers like to have their cubs in very remote, hard to access areas. Typically they're going to den down in deep ravines and stuff like that, and a lot of times they're pretty hard to access.
With the bear den just 20 yards away, biologists Myron Means and Matt Melson quietly prepare the drugs they'll use to sedate a bear that, contrary to popular belief, is not actually hibernating.
A lot of people think bears are true hibernators, and they're not. They can go through periods of kind of a deeper sleep, but they can also arouse immediately. Even though it's really cold and all that stuff, when we do these den surveys, those females, when we go in, they can hear us coming, it wakes them up, and they're always aware of what we're doing. Some of them are more aware than others. Okay, here we go. She has at least 2 cubs. You can hear 2 different cubs feeding. We just started her, and it'll generally take 10 to 15 minutes for the drug to take effect. Boy, I'm glad I got her in the neck. God, she's huge. She is big. She's got a freaking head that wide. She's always been a big bear. Man, that's a pretty good adrenaline rush. If you're an adrenaline junkie, that's a pretty good rush. Especially when she raises her head up and looks at you 3 feet away. See how her eyes are twitching, jumping. She wouldn't pass the field sobriety test right now.
15 to 20 minutes later, it's safe to begin the den survey. The first step is taking care of Mama Bear.
That drug dries out their eyes. They can still blink a little, but they don't have anything to lubricate their eyes.
Adhesive bandages keep dust and debris out of her eyes and also aid in calming the female while the rest of the den work progresses. The main focus of this research is the cubs, which give wildlife managers a window into the reproductive success of the state's bears.
Black, no chest blaze.
Biologists record identifying characteristics such as color and other markings. They weigh the cubs and take a series of measurements, including body length, chest circumference, and foot size. By plugging the measurements into a formula, wildlife managers can better estimate a cub's age and determine its developmental progress compared to known averages. Over time,
Well, folks, have you been trout fishing before?
Not since I was a little kid.
You'll do fine.
Hey, what are you doing?
Aren't you coming along?
See you downriver.
How do you start this motor? I've never been in a boat before.
See you downriver.
Well, folks, have you sold a house before?
Yeah, about 30 years ago.
Yeah. Oh, well, you'll be okay then.
You sure?
Where are you going?
See you at the closing.
Hey!
At the closing.
We should have called the Z-Team.
Hi.
There is a delight in the hardy life of the open. There are no words that can tell the hidden spirit of the wilderness, that can reveal its mystery, its melancholy, and its charm. The nation behaves well if it treats the natural resources as assets, which it must turn over to the next generation increased, and not impaired in value. Conservation means development, as much as it does protection. Theodore Roosevelt. In the early 1900s, President Roosevelt held a White House conference on conservation. As concerns about natural resources and wildlife grew, Americans were spreading west, replacing vast forests with cities, cropland, and pastures. Arkansas was changing, especially the wildlife. Elk, bison, and swan were completely gone from the state. Ducks, quail, and fish were harder to come by. Something had to be done. In 1915, Act 124 was signed into law, and the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission was born.
In 1916, Arkansas's first game wardens were hired for $80 a month, and they had to provide their own horses. Times have changed, and so have our tools, but the call to protect our state's wildlife and natural resources never will. I take a lot of pride in knowing we're all carrying on the legacy of those original 9 wardens.
In 1918, the Migratory Bird Treaty Act was passed. Unregulated hunting had caused populations of many bird species to decline sharply, and market hunting posed a similar threat to North America's waterfowl. The act set federal regulations on the hunting of migratory birds. And nearly 100 years later, that means plenty of ducks for us today.
During the 1920s, the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission took steps to increase the deer population in our state. As late as the 40s, the deer population remained bleak in Arkansas. Hunting was closed in several counties. But progress was being made, and with the help of the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission, record harvests have become the norm with each deer season. One of the state's oldest and most successful fish hatcheries was dug by hand and by mule right here in 1928. As director of the Game and Fish Commission's Fisheries Division for many years, some of Joe Hogan's innovative principles for raising fish in ponds and transporting them across the state are still practiced today.
In 1937, the Pittman-Robertson Act provided federal assistance for projects to restore, enhance, and manage wildlife resources. Arkansas has used millions of dollars over the years for habitat projects just like this one.
In 1945, Amendment 35 became effective, making the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission an independent state agency. This gave the commission much needed stability and ushered in the way we still do business today.
This place is legendary among duck hunters. Thanks to the foresight of game and fish managers and commissioners nearly 70 years ago, this place is now known as one of the best places in the world to hunt mallards and flooded green timber. Alameda is one of the greatest places for the public to come hunt, and we're very fortunate to have it.
Thanks to the Dingell-Johnson Act signed in 1950, when you make purchases like this, you're actually giving back to fishing in our state.
In 1951, this beautiful place was completed. It's been stealing the hearts of fishermen for generations.
At the request of the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission, NBC came to film a live duck hunt in 1956. And more than 250,000 ducks filled the air in front of the cameras on that day, and outdoorsmen have been flocking to our state ever since. 7 years later, I produced the first of many long-running fishing shows shot here in Arkansas.
How about that? That's pretty solid, yeah. Appreciate your help.
Yes, sir.
Now, technology has really changed, but the thrill of filming the great outdoors never will.
We were known as the bear state long before we were known as the natural state, but black bears were almost hunted completely out of the state of Arkansas. Today we have over 5,000 bears in the state, thanks to the reintroduction effort in the 1950s and 60s. This reintroduction effort is recognized as the most successful reintroduction of a large carnivore in history. And we're very proud of that.
In 1971, hunter education classes began in the state of Arkansas. First and foremost, the Arkansas Game and Fish wants to make sure every hunt ends safely. It is something that has given me peace of mind and helped me to enjoy our hunting even more.
Can you imagine this beautiful spot being underwater? That's what would have happened had dams been put in place in the late 1960s. In part, thanks to the Arkansas Game and Fish, this became America's first national river, the Buffalo National River. Hundreds of thousands of people come to the Buffalo National River every year.
Elk once roamed Arkansas far and wide before the settlers transformed the landscape. Against the odds, the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission brought the elk back beginning in 1981. By 1998, the herd had grown large enough for a limited hunt. I got this one in 2004.
We're known for our miles of trails, wild game, and breathtaking views. When the 1/8 cent conservation sales tax passed in 1996, it gave the Game and Fish Commission much-needed funds to keep creating the habitats and improving the quality of wildlife our state reveres so much. It's nice to know that everyone in the state has a hand in helping nature.
I started my boat company right here in Arkansas. And in 2001, Game and Fish made boating safer for everyone by instituting boating education courses.
In 2001, the first of 4 Arkansas Game and Fish Nature Centers opened in Pine Bluff. Part classroom, part museum, part playground. These nature centers offer visitors walking trails, exhibits, and hands-on fun.
My love of fishing started long before we founded the Ranger Boat Company. In 2012, the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission resolved the minimum flow issue with the assistance of a lot of people. Now, trout have the habitat and conditions below Bull Shoals Dam to grow and thrive, and will benefit generations to come.
More than 100 years later, it is our mission to continue to carry out the legacy President Roosevelt once spoke about. Cherish these natural wonders. Cherish the natural resources. Cherish the history and romance as a sacred heritage for your children and your children's children.
This is our Arkansas.
My Arkansas.
My state.
This is my outdoors.
My weekend.
My life.
This is my everything.
This is my calling.
This is my legacy.
Thank you, Arkansas Game and Fish Commission.
You make the deer woods great.
You make the fishing great.
You make my state great.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Arkansas Game and Fish Commission.
Thank you for protecting our most valuable resource for 100 years.